Hello, Wisecrack Nation. This is your boy Navi here, coming to you from out of the Speed Force with my review of The Flash. So far, we're on Season 5, Episode 8, and this is special to us today as it is the 100th episode of The Flash, and it is titled What's Past Is Prologue. I wonder what we're gonna run into today. We begin this episode with Ralph and Sherlock staking out Cicada and reporting back to Team Flash of his daily habits and how more than likely he got his powers and why he hates Metis. It's at this point that Barry has the idea of going to go ahead and apprehend Cicada, but not realizing that his lightning bolt dagger will dampen his abilities. The team strategizes over ideas of how to stop the dagger so that everyone can keep their abilities in order to keep Cicada from attacking. And surprise, surprise, it's Nora that comes up with the plan to go ahead and go into the past and retrieve the items from Savitar, Zoom, and Harrison Wells, aka Reverse Flash, aka Eobard Thawne, and plant them in Star Labs in order to build the device to stop Cicada's lightning bolt dagger. Now, this is what I like. Them actually using their minds for once and coming up with a good plan that'll stop them from getting their butts kicked. I'm guessing their intelligence is starting to rub off on Excess, which is a better thing than her being her rash self and jumping into everything before thinking. But the one thing that I question is why Barry doesn't want Excess going into the field with him when going to the past. It seems that he probably still doesn't trust her, knowing that she's the reason why the present is so messed up as it is already with the new metahumans and the fact that Cicada is different from who he is on the other Earths. But leave it up to Iris to talk Barry down and convince him to take her with him because it was her plan and because Barry's going to need as much help as he can with going back to the past and dealing with certain villains. Now we have bigger problems after the fact that Barry and Nora have run to the past to see Savitar and a younger version of himself fighting each other. We see before they go into the battle area, a Time Reaper has come upon them and it starts to follow. This has to be a somewhat weird moment for both Barry and Nora, having to go back into the past and view a battle between younger Barry and Savitar. But the worst part is, now there's a time wraith after both of them, and wanting to take them away, Barry decides to go and lure the time wraith away while leaving the job to get the Savitar's time suit to Nora. And what makes it worse is that while waiting to get the piece, she sees Iris, her mother, shoot the clone Savitar. Oh man, that's gonna require so much therapy for Nora somewhere down the line. After grabbing a piece of Savitar's armor, she meets Barry back at the Speed Force portal to where they go back into another time to see Zoom take Barry's speed. But what makes it even worse, when Barry goes to retrieve another piece of the part that they're gonna need, is missing. Now what makes it even weirder is that Barry has run into Harry from Earth 2 and to see that he has the piece that Barry needs. Luckily, Harry doesn't realize that Barry that he sees is future Barry. But the good thing about it is Barry retrieves the piece that was missing, to come to find out that Harry's butt had it all along, which is kind of weird. And talking about not trying to change the timeline, Barry gives Harry some advice on how to find his daughter. Way to go, Barry. You pulled a Nora. And what makes things really worse is before Barry and Nora have a chance to leave the Star Labs of the past, Zoom comes out of nowhere and warns them they're not going anywhere. Now things are starting to look grim, as Zoom has identified Nora as a speedster and starts chasing after her and Barry, and even into the Speed Force. He keeps up with them. Fortunately, a time race grabs Zoom, which knocks Nora and Barry out of the Speed Force and into an unknown time. Now it seems things get a lot more interesting as this story progresses. Nora and Barry see that they've gone back 3 years into the future to run back into another Barry that's already going to get the help of Reverse Flash. And now, unfortunately, both Barry and Nora had to present themselves to Eobard Thawne in order to ask him for help. At which point Thawne is a little bit reluctant because he realizes that he isn't able to go home and doesn't even make it home even in the future. But Barry promises him that if he does help them, that he'll be able to go home. What makes this moment in the Flash special is that Eobard Thawne, aka Harrison Wells, starts naming off different speedsters. Before finding out Nora's real name, he even mentions Barry's other so-called daughter, Dawn. It's by this point Eobard Thawne tells Nora of how her father hates him with a passion and tries to influence her in order to get her to warm up to him in some kind of way. I think there's more than likely some kind of secret that Nora's keeping about Eobard Thawne that she knows or she might be aware of he might be aware of that Barry isn't yet to know. Well, we are back at the night of the original particle accelerator explosion, and we see DeVoe and his wife, young Barry and Iris, and even younger Caitlin. And while everyone is upstairs, older Barry and Nora go downstairs into Star Labs to get the last part that they need in order to build a weapon to stop Cicada's dagger. Along the way, they see a familiar face in Grodd. We see Barry and Nora viewing both Harrison Wells and his team before they set off the particle accelerator, and to see all the parts that never happened in season 1 of The Flash, being that Harrison Wells, aka Eobard Thawne, already knew that Cisco was going to become Vibe, and does somewhat of a name drop by letting Cisco know it, but Cisco wasn't able to figure it out. It seems that Barry puts the pieces together and turns on Gideon, in which she starts to communicate with both Barry and Nora, alerting Nora to the fact that she's going to be in the Legion of Superheroes in the future as his 5th recruit. It's apparent at this point, as Nora pointed out, that Barry hates Reverse Flash, but she doesn't know the whole story of why he hates him, in which this time Barry tells Nora the truth, that Reverse Flash killed his mother. After telling Nora the truth about everything, they get emotional to where Nora feels bad about not knowing all of his past sadness and traumas that he had to go through. And it's at that time the particle accelerator explodes, and we see every character that was affected from season one all the way to the present come into light. And luckily, after the particle accelerator goes off, everything goes off as planned. And both Barry and Nora leave their instrument to stop Cicada at the hospital. Now it's time for the showdown to happen. We see Barry in his suit on top of the hospital, zoom past Grace's window where Cicada is to inform him that he's downstairs waiting for their confrontation. It seems that Cicada knows he's a metahuman and plans on killing himself after killing all metahumans in order for his niece to live in a better world. And the worst part about it is that he really doesn't care to the fact that he's doing so much harm. But the good thing about it is, when using his dagger to try and throw it at all the others, it has no effect, as Barry and Axis have left behind the power dampener for his dagger in the wall in the security pillar, in which it has no effect on the others. Flash proceeds to kick his ass, which is about time. Now, what makes things for the better, Cisco throws the dagger into a breach which goes into outer space, but Cicada makes a shocking revelation to everybody that he can summon the dagger even from space, in which, when he does, sends a shockwave to everybody and knocks them flat on their asses. Luckily for Team Flash, Killer Frost shows up and Blizzard throws Cicada like a bitch into a truck. I mean, Jesus, that was harsh. Thank goodness for Killer Frost. It seems that because Killer Frost wasn't created out of dark matter, that she can be used to stop Cicada at some point. That's when Team Flash decides to come up with a plan that'll help them in doing that. But now we have another issue as to deal with Nora, as she goes to look for her journal to go to Sherlock and see that he has her journal and questions her about her Speed Force language that she created, as she states. And not only that, is that Sherlock has deciphered some of the Time Force language from Nora's journal, which says the Time Force, or the timeline, is malleable. So I wonder what's going to happen when he gives this information to the team. It seems that both Barry and Nora go back in time to view both of Barry's parents before Nora's killed. But what I like about this scene is that they're connecting more, and not only that, Nora calls Barry an old man, but it's a good thing to see that they're connecting otherwise. Well, it seems Sherlock was right at the beginning of the season that Nora was hiding a secret. And I guess the secret was she's been working with Eobard Thawne all this time and delivering messages to him as she goes back to 2049 to see another version of Wells, which in my guess may be Eobard Thawne. Well, Wisecrack Nation, that's where this episode ends. But don't worry, next time when we come back, we're going to have something really special for you. But for right now, I'm going to go into the Speed Force and hopefully I won't run into Thawne there. But as for right now, I'm going to leave you with these words. Well, crack-wise, because this group is going to come at you with something special. As for right now, I'd like to thank you for watching this video. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.